All right. Whew. Okay, well, hello everybody, and welcome back. I know it's been a couple of weeks here, but we kind of crashed out a little bit the last time we were trying to work on the Lego custom farm. But I did sort of, I don't know, I feel like I've kind of sort of confirmed that the things I was looking for kind of are here. So, I don't know, we're just gonna kind of go with that. And we're going to kind of make this work. So we're going to go back to taking a look at just getting this in place. So I better go ahead and show, yeah, here we go. So I got my notes file. This is sort of all the notes that I would do normally when I'm finishing a building. And you're not going to be able to see this super well, but that's okay. It's just still useful to know that there's basically a blueprint that I'm kind of working off of. So, yeah, we're literally just gonna start at the top here, and we're gonna work our way down. So, okay, so the layout of the farm is 16 by 16 squares, is 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's 1, 2, 3. Actually, wait, no. So these last two, I to M, this is 24, because what it is it's a front 16 by 16, and then it's 8 by 16s roads. And then up here, A to E is 32, so these are 16 by 16s. And then in the back, we have another set of additional farmland, basically, the additional crops that we were working on. So what we're going to kind of go through here today is, this is actually not as complex as it looks. It's one of those things that's harder to start than to finish. So we're just going to go piece by piece, and we're going to know there's basically a reference point of like what section of the farm we're working in, and I'll kind of try to call that out. And this is sort of the first true stream in a way, because we're really actually, we have all the parts and we're building something kind of custom, even though it's kind of chaotic when you've got these huge Lego.com orders that just have loads and loads of parts, which we've kind of learned from that, and our future orders will be pretty small in scope, pretty limited to just a couple of sets. Although, as far as the bricklink component of the orders, there's not a whole lot you can do about that, so we'll just understand that. So I've got parts to my left, parts to my right. So right off the top, farmland, we need 8 by 16 dirt tan plates. So these are going to be over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I think I must have made a decision that like the dirt around this farm is sort of a sandy dirt color. And the way that we're going to go about this is, I think these are just flat. They're just literally, it's just like, that's the dirt you come in on. So I'm not going to place these, but they just go like here. They'd go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are basically roads. So we'd have our other roads coming in from the city, coming in and in, and then you'd get to basically these dirt roads that represent this. I do think that I should probably, so I'm going to go to a fresh notepad over here, and I'm going to write, yeah, that's probably good. So I'm going to say today is June 1, so again, we're going to be 1 June 2025, and we're going to say farm, and I'm going to say let's get some gravel and dirt parts to roughen road. And what that's going to do is if we start adding some like 1x1 brown studs and 1x1 blaze studs, that's going to make it a little bit clearer that this is going to be like a dirt road, as opposed to just looking like when I have my beach section and it's just tan because it's just smooth sand, smooth by the ocean. So we're going to take these, we're going to set them aside because we know they go back in the farm area, and that's that. Okay. So now we're working on A, B, E, F. So we're working on these 4 squares back here. And what this needs is 406 grass, plus there's another 30 grass that would be there, except it's covered by hay. So, I mean, there's no way out but through. So we're just going to pick up a massive bag of grass. I think there's more than one massive bag of grass. So let's see if we can verify that. So there's this one. That's not 400. There's that one back there. That's definitely not 400. And it's not in here. So normally if Lego were to send you something like this, they would send you a huge bag of it. So I'm going to check these huge bags over to the side that I've got. And my only worry is I may have, you might recall last time I was basically agonizing over the grass color. So this lime-ish color, I decided I am going to stick with not using that for the farm. I have basically, I think that this is more appropriate as like golf course grass covering. That being said, it might be the only grass that I have if I ordered that yellowish color before. So we were agonizing over that grass, but I just decided that this just like looks so like 1990s Lego Farmland, like when you would see the pictures in the old Lego Ideas, like idea starters, and they would have like just masses of farmland. It would be like this boring, the classic Lego green color. And by the way, this light green color doesn't exist yet in Lego. When it does, I'm going to make that sort of like manicured grass, like lawn grass in front of the residences. But it doesn't exist right now, which means, are we going to be a little bit in trouble right off the bat? Let's find out. No, we're not, because I have massive amounts of green grass from other Lego orders because I'm smart. Here we go. There we go. So this will probably cover it. So let's go ahead and, like I said, we're just going to pour that out and we're just going to get going. So again, what it's telling me is I want to so A, B, E, F, we want a lower 32 by 32 base plate that's green, and we want to elevate it. So right now we don't have a, do we have a base plate there? This is a base plate. We're going to want to raise that with some squares. So A, B, E, F. So we're going to set aside the grass for right now. This will all make sense in a moment here, I assure you. By the way, let me do a test chat. Go over here. Hard to tell if our YouTube chat is connected there, but our Twitch chat definitely is, so we'll just go with that, see if it comes through later. I'm not going to worry too much about it right now, because we got work to do. Okay, so back to over here. So we're in the we're in the back, we're in this section back here. So we want to know exactly what base plates we wanted to put there. So we know we have the grass coming, but we need to elevate this a little bit first. So section F, so that's the bottom right, that's right here. This is below the hay barn. So this needs an upper 16 by 16 base plate that's tan. And here we go. There's one right here. And we're going to say pins and tiles, or pins, just pins. I think back at this point we were just buying pins when we would do this, so we need to see again. And once we, some of this stuff, once we find it the first time, it's just going to be much easier to find in the future. Right now we don't quite have it yet. So now this is going here, and you'll get to see sort of how it is that I go about doing this exactly. Here we go. So here's our massive amount of pins that we're using to elevate things. So I only need 4 pins. I only need to cover the 4 corners. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And I think there's a more modern word for this than pins, but I can never remember quite what it is. Take off that piece of tape. We won't need that. And, you know, you start to get into a little rhythm with this, and it can be kind of relaxing. Okay, so we have, on this one, we have the hay barn. I think we're going to bring this forward a little bit. I think that's right. Because we had this sort of grassy field here, which is really too bad because the field there is kind of neat. And it also says I'm going to need 9 1x1 tiles. So I am just going to go into my spare parts. And I'm just going to grab tiles of basically any color. They're all kind of going to do the trick. Of course, my spare parts have been racking up for absolutely for ages. And need to be sorted at some point, but some point is not today. And I'll show what the purpose of those tiles is in just a second here. But it doesn't matter if they're square or circle, so here's 1, here's 2. It's better if this is all sorted and you can grab them really easily. In fact, I actually do have more which are sorted below, if I can access them. Yeah, I've definitely got to go through and sort all this stuff, but that is not a today task. Well, here it is, but there's stuff on top. Do I risk it? On the one hand, it's going to totally slow me down if I don't have ready access to the tiles. And I don't think I got tiles. I think I just knew that I would grab them from... Yeah, if that's how I knew I was going to do it, there's not really much choice, is there? So pull this out. Pull these out. Got so much stuff I need to deal with. But in the second, this is going to make, like, perfect sense, basically. I hope. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. This is what it ultimately looks like when I actually get parts sorted away. So I'm going to go for a lot of these. Okay, so how many do we got? We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It doesn't matter the color, it doesn't matter the shape, especially because, like, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that much right away. Okay, so we put those, so the reason we have all of these, actually really quick, so the next thing you need to figure out is if this barn right here is going to move, if the hay barn is going to move back, or it's gonna stay in sort of this offset corner it is. So again, these are big squares. A to E is 32 by 32. So this should really be covering all the way down to here. It should be here. And we can check that really easily again. Like, so here's 16, here's 32. So it's all the way down to this other 8 by 16 base plate I have there. Now, I don't know that I want to shift that up because, again, it kind of looks great having this extra bit of grass that comes around there. So the only problem with that is I have to check whether I'm considering that to be... So what I really need to figure out here is I need to go to square B, which is this square back here. And I need to see, because if it's just grass again, then I can do whatever I want. But if I have that allocated to be farmland, then I'm in trouble. So we're going to check. We're going to look ahead here, basically. So A, B, E, F. F is here. C, D, and G, H. D, H. K, O. L, P. E. Okay, so it's already, okay, so E, then A and B. I think I already have an idea where this is going, but I'm going to go through it slowly anyway so we can keep track. So E is supposed to be reddish-brown jumpers. This is tilled soil and dark tan tiles, which are smooth soil. And plates reduced to studs and sprinklers. So E is basically right here. And what I'm getting is that E is basically already farmland. So I may have made a slight mistake here, actually, because I wasn't accounting for these two little sections. So we know that E, I was planning to have be farmland already. A and B, so that's here and here. I wanted a removable upper base plate. I wanted pins and tiles, jumpers. So this is all tilled soil, brown plates, yeah. And then I wanted this whole, I think A and B was all going to be potentially removable farmland, which is not bothering me. We made a slight error here, but if I want to make sure that's removable, I kind of want to leave this. This is the hay barn. Come on, we're going to think really fast here. If we flip back to our brick set picture for a second, the hay barn, it's just a barn. It's just a nice little slanted roof. And you can imagine there would be some movement of animals through there. So let's say this washing station is behind this barn and then this barn. So what we'd have to do is basically just move this all down a bit. So we can do that together. So we're going to set this down as a reference. And we know that our hay barn is now probably, if we really want those back two crops, which I think we already know where those are going, they're going to need to be removable so that we can basically, the idea of this all is so that you can change which crops are displayed. So I'm going to make at least 8 total. Yeah, I'm going to make at least 8 total areas of farmland, plus a 9th that is in progress, basically. And the idea is you're going to be able to place, you're going to mix and match. So right now, the normal way is it's going to look like wheat crop here, and then 4 crops in the back, additionally. But I can switch that up. I can say I want this crop, and I'm going to put them more on display. So if I ever have to display this in a smaller space portfolio and I don't have room for the back set of 16 studs, it's still okay. I can still make it work. So to do that, we're going to move this hay barn forward and we're going to co-opt this piece right here. So I know that the hay barn needs to start here-ish. Yep. And then it's going to end at the bottom of that 16 by 16. So now I have to actually build it. And I also think I'm going to offset it 16 by 16 because before I had the tractor coming out back this way, but now it's going to be coming out back this way. That's not going to make any sense, but that's okay. So this is the top. So this is a removable piece. This is going to be the top back here. So we figured out our problem. We're going back to section. Which section are we in? Let's see. We are in section, and again, once we get rolling on this is going to be really clear, really straightforward. It's just kind of confusing right now. So go back to our layout. We're currently working on section F, A, B, E, F. And our original instructions for section F says an upper base plate below the hay barn, pins and tiles. So here we go. We've rotated this to the side. So now we know that section F, just set that down for right now. We're also going to need this. So we're going to carefully peel this off. I like what I was starting to do here with a little elevated sort of grassy knoll. We're going to peel this off and we're going to transfer all of this over to here. Because I don't think we really have much choice but to do that. Now, why is it tan? Is it tan under the hay? I don't want grass growing on tan base plates. A, B, E, F. So let's check this again. If it's going to be removable, it is going to be removable because it's all sitting on this giant 32 by 32 base plate. So I actually need this to be a green one, not a tan one. So we're just going to do that. If it causes a problem later, so be it. All these tan ones are going underneath. Whoop! Are going underneath Farmland eventually. That was annoying, but not totally disastrous. And I mixed those up. Okay. Custom builds are always like this. You just kind of make a bunch of decisions. You kind of talk through them. And I guess since I can't see the YouTube chat on Restream right now, I'm going to pop it open just in case. I did confirm that we are streaming to YouTube right now. So I just want to put this over here so I can see if there's a message. Boom. Custom builds are time consuming, but they're by far the most rewarding. Okay, so now we can see, so now let's do a couple things here. Now I can make this actually all make it make sense. Okay, now I will make it make sense. Swap this with this. The reason why will become evident in a moment. And this is actually neat because now I've basically created a sort of pass-through from the livestock pens to the farmland. So I'm going to set this down. And let's see, should I switch my working area and myself? Yeah, let's do a swap. Yeah, now you can see the area that I'm working on a little bit more. So this is eventually going here. But right now what we have is it's just resting there. And two, it's a thin base plate on a thin base plate, which is not the same height as anything you can make with plates. So what we're going to do is we're going to set these 4 pins in the 4 corners here. So let me pick this up for a second. Actually, let's not do it that way. I swear there's a method to the madness. There really is. Okay. So here we have 1 pin, 2 pins, 3 pins, and a 4th pin. And then we're just going to fill the rest of this in, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, the colors and the shapes that I'm using here don't matter. 9. So what this does is now those 4 pins in the corner are going to hold this base plate in place. And boom, click, 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 click. And all those other ones relieve the pressure when I place down on this with my hands. And that ensures that we can stay at the same height because a base plate on a pin, a base plate on a pin on a base plate is the same exact height as 2 regular plates, which you can see right here. This is a stud on a plate, and this is a base plate on a pin. It's exactly the same height, which is, by the way, this technique is really, really, really useful when you're working on certain things in like a Lego city, which we can come back to another time. But for now, all of that to say, boom, we just placed this barn. So now we're going to go back to our instructions, and they said below the barn, we want to place 30 studs worth of hay. And that hay it's currently in the farm bin, so I'll be right back with the hay. So we're going to place it, because the hay is heavy, it sinks into the grass, and then we're going to put grass all around it. And by the way, for all of that, we don't actually need this base plate to be seated. It's going to be easier to tile it, to fill it in with tiles, if we just take it and put it in front of us where we can access it a little bit more loosely and pick it up and pick it down. So 1 second while I grab the hay. Okay, so I'm doing two things here. So I'm cutting, so here's the hay. It's just these little 2x3 bricks that came with this farm set. And I'm only going to use 24 studs worth of hay. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12 times 2. And I'm going to leave another 6 studs worth up in top of the barn, which you can't currently see. So basically, it would just be like this. I just place these, and then I would put grass around them. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, and instead of 406... Wait, we're on F. Instead of 406, it is going to be 412 because another 24 would be covered by hay. So I just added by 6. So that's the first thing. But then before I just place this hay willy-nilly, what I really want, and I'm going to place this loosely back in place for a second, what I really want is so when we do this, we're going to have some untilled farmland back here. I actually might not make that untilled farmland. I might make it just more grass. Or maybe I'll make it untilled. Unclear. Not clear yet to me. What I really want is basically the combine harvester is going to kind of live in this barn. Kind of loosely live in this barn, which means that's going to need to be the untilled one. So that can be tilled. Okay, that's fine. And it's going to be able to come out of here and, start shearing the wheat crop, right? So what I need to do, actually, can I fold these up? Ooh, I can fold these up, so it totally fits in the barn. Look at that. So I don't want this hay to be too helter-skelter, or else the harvester won't be able to get in here properly. So I'm just going to see. It looks like the harvester is... It's not going to fully fit in anyway. Questionable. Questionable. I have choices here. All right, so let's put this all the way to the side, which means I can do one kind of right there. Yeah, so now I've got this, but that's still 3. So if I do reverse, we go here, and then here. We could do this. We could place the hay kind of like that. And we could place the rubber ducky kind of like that. So we do something like this. That shows that it kind of like signals to us that this is yeah, you can see that even looking up top there. It's kind of signaling like, okay, here's the hay barn. Some of the hay is like fallen down. The harvester kind of goes in here at this angle, but it's not taking up so many studs that it's kind of a problem. And then I'm going to take this part of hay, and I'm just going to tell myself it's going to kind of go over there. So now we've got sort of these 2 little assortments of hay. It could also go over here, since I guess the idea is you take the hay out of the bales and you give it to the animals. So we might put it like here, and then you kind of have, again, visually this yellow, this original and all this farm is very original Lego colors, which is why I decided not to switch the grass. You got old green, old red, old tan, old yellow, black, white, like none of the fancy new colors that we're going to enjoy using on some of our other builds. So that's fine. Check here. And even, like, I looked away for a second, I look back up, and I see the placement of these 2 bits of hay, and I really like it. It's very visually compelling. So I'm going to take this harvester out of the way. We're going to come down here, grab this again, which, again, is sticking very well to the pegs. So we're going to plop that down. And then we're just going to tile this with grass. So I'm going to check one last time. Below the hay barn, pins and tiles, place the grass. So where's my grass? I guess let's use this one first. Put this away for now. And, like, this is, like, on the one hand, it's kind of boring. The other hand, it's kind of relaxing at the same time to just kind of sit here and just put mind-numbing amounts of grass in place. Not convincing anybody, Kira. That's okay. Sit that back there. Here we go. And I'm not going to count these. I'm just going to... So we'll do a swap since we're working back here. Whoop. I guess I could add some like cute animations. All right, so here we go. Just placing some grass on the farm. And so this is one of my little signatures. I believe I'm the one that came up with this. I don't think I stole this idea from anybody, but I love using these 1x1 round plates with a hole in them. And they really give, when you touch this, like when you touch this completed section right here, it really gives it just like a super, the feel is like spongy. I don't know how else to describe it. It's spongy, it's kind of see-through, almost as if like there's something down there. But then anything that, yeah, we got that. Also, I love this little vignette of a cat chasing a rat. We've got a bird feeder down here. That's all from the original farm set. And again, this farm set, that's an old set. It's a white whale set for a lot of people because it contained, I think it contained some cows, which have not been made since. They haven't been made in any other set. You can see I've got a lot of other animals scattered around here from various other farm sets, but yeah. So we're just gonna put these tiles in place. So if we were doing some kind of speed build, I'd like zoop right through this section, but we're not. So I'm just kind of, and actually I can lift this off to give myself a little easier access, like so. Boom. And for parts like this grass, where I know I just use massive amounts of them because I also use it in the residential section, I tend to just get it in large amounts at a time. Whatever it takes to stay on the grid. But I mean, you can already see the full layout of this farm, and you can kind of tell that, like, yeah, I mean, this is going to be, when we're kind of through with this, it's pretty nice. Looks pretty nice. So the other question is, I originally had this sort of grassy knoll here over to the side, and I like the idea of the elevated texture there, but I don't want that elevated texture continue under the barn. It's going to be flat under the barn so that our combine harvester can pull into there. And that combine harvester, that is from set 60223. That is a Lego, this one I'm pointing at here in the bottom right. That was a Lego set. It wasn't actually sold as part of a farm. It was sold, it came with like a truck transporting it. So the idea was maybe some farmer just like purchased a brand new combine harvester. Maybe it was one of the farmers we've got here working. This is obviously a multi-person farm operation. They've got livestock and crops. The livestock are placed, although many of them are off screen right now. But the crops are what we're ultimately going to build today once we get through all this massive amount of tiling. And again, like, the only way out is through. Like, pretty much, you just kind of have to accept. I don't know. Like, you know, it's kind of like art, right? Like, you either have fun doing this or you don't. And if it's not fun to you, or if you don't at least find it to be worthwhile, like, I'm not willing to do... I thought about using this same technique with the 1x1 round plates with holes in them to, like, make sand, because I do think that would kind of look spongy too. But with the residential areas and with the farm, there's a lot of things that, like, get in the way. So, like, where I place this hay down, I don't have to place grass studs. Thank goodness. But, like, with the sandy beaches, like, the whole point of the beach is it's, like, wide open, I would probably lose my mind. But, I mean, that's why you just kind of get on and do this a little bit at a time, right? Stuff like this. And I'm actually a couple streams behind because I really wanted to sit and consider whether I was going to use another color grass for the farm, whether I was going to use, like, a grass that looked like it might be more of, like, animal feed or something. But what I ultimately decided was, again, like, we have the really basic colors here, the red, the yellow, and it made sense to keep the most basic possible green as well. If I was fully on schedule, one thing that we're going to be doing in the near future is I got a couple of sets from the 1990s that I want to build. So two of them are Paradisa, a Paradisa Country Club, which might actually be something that goes beside the farm here. It's a good note to self. a Paradisa like beachside mansion, which is a very like a kind of another white whale set for some people. And then I got the Rapid River Village, I think is the name of the set. So this is like an old Cowboys and Indians, Cowboys and Native Americans type of Lego set. I liked that one because it didn't show, like, I didn't like the idea of the conflict between those two groups in the Lego themes. I like the idea of it being like both of them versus like the bandits, the robbers. And that one I think has no cowboys, so it kind of made it a little bit easier to justify. And I'm really looking forward to building that. But when I build that, that's the kind of set that would have been set on like the American Great Plains. So that's where I want to use a spring yellowish green color grass when I surround it. And I think that'll be like just a really, really cool, striking interpretation. Because if you've been to the Old West, the Western United States, like, it's not all dirt desert. Like there's dirt desert in the Southwest, and there's sand desert and dirt desert far west, but it's actually prairie. A lot of it's prairie, and especially when you talk about the Great Plains natives, the point is they were in the Great Plains, they were in the prairie, and so like you want like prairie grass. You don't want it to just look like desert, but I think that Lego released all those sets as like desert. So we're going to use this exact same technique there. Actually, I can't recall if I don't know that I've actually ordered a large amount of spring yellowish green. But I think it's going to look pretty nice. I think it's going to look like the prairie. You can see I'm just yapping myself right through putting all the grass on this wide open plate here, and then we're going to have a nice removable barn. And I basically have like a container that this barn can sit right into when I need to transfer it. It's pretty cool. Might be even this just little build. It's not that big, so it's like 20 inches by 20 inches by 45 inches roughly, which is not that much. In feet that is, but I know it's not that much. So like a nice little easy thing to display at a convention, in a local place, which is nice after a lot of streams of just, you know, building stuff without customizing, which you have to do that. You've got to attack your backlog by any means necessary. But I should place an order for another 1,000 of these like as soon as I finish here. If this is 400 and I have the equivalent of, well, not every base plate is getting grassed over, and this one's already, these three are already covered with grass, but I have at least another 300 right here that I have to get through, so it's a lot. It is a lot. So this will have been like it, maybe 1/7. Is it cat time? Possible cat time? This will have been like 1/7 of what we're going to ultimately do today. And again, it only takes like 10 minutes or so, but you just gotta get it done. The only way out is through. And it gets most annoying when you're working around like obstacles here, which again is why I took off the barn. The barn's foundations while I did this. You might be wondering, what are all those Lego pieces over to the side? Well, again, this was a big Lego order. We bought parts for a lot of different projects all at once, which is going to be time consuming to actually apply all of them, but it's kind of fun too. Lesson learned. All future orders are for a very small number of sets at a time. And whenever possible, unless you're like replacing missing parts. Done. Okay, so here's the barn. To put its foundations back on. Put our little cat chasing a rat. And look at that. Like, even through the video. Please stand by. I was saying, even through the video, you can kind of see that it's got this, like, it just takes on this spongy texture when you work with it. So I'm going to set that back down, and that is actually in its ultimate position. So I guess, like, if you kind of look like right here versus right here, it's just a little bit more spongy. This just looks kind of like open, and this is like spongy, and it feels so good to touch. Like, it really feels so textured in a way that, like, Lego feels kind of rough. I don't know how to describe it. It is what it is. And we can put our combine harvester parked in there, and that's it. We did a section. So Farmland, so that was section F. And then the original instructions are telling me that I want to tile over these 3 sections as well. So one of them is getting, I actually think we determined that both of these are getting tan. So we're just going to set that right there. Set that right there. And then we have, let's make sure that is this a plate or a base plate? So it's a plate, which is kind of a bit of a challenge because we're resting on a base plate here. That's okay. Section F. Then it has us going over to CD or GH. Lower base plate. Upper 16 by 32 base plate for DH. Okay, so that is tan. So that's got to be around here somewhere. And then what about a lower for KL? It's over here. I don't think it's over here. I think a lot of these are for other projects. KO is right here. I think I want... So we're going to take this off. Take this off. This is going to go here. Okay. So this one's already... This is not... Yeah, this is not one. This is fine. Don't over-engineer this. So we have a 16 by 32 base plate in tan, and we're going to want this to go under this grain storage tower. Back here, you can see that in this case, I've already sort of pre-placed a number of pins. I do want to get back out, and I want to make sure that I fill in sort of the other key corners here. And again, the reason we place these tiles is we want to, wherever possible, relieve pressure. Jackrabbit. So it looks like I'm just going to start pulling and placing them. Because again, I don't, especially for this one. So we want one there. You can see we have this strong connection here in the center. That continues over to the other side as well. Here's something for the center there. Here's something. This side is covered. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll want one here. And I like using up this shape, these oblong shapes here, because this is a piece that I rarely would be building something would go, oh, I need one of those. And if I needed some of them, it'd probably be a larger amount of them, and then it's worth making a bricklink order. Put these here. Put this here. Let's put one here. Can be a heart shape. Can be something silly. And then one to the side. And we're going to see this farm slowly come together. It'll kind of pick up its pace. And then I can put one here. So now, already just like that, we're pretty much ready to place down this tan driveway. Going to lock it into the pins, and we know that we're relieving the pressure wherever possible. And this is going to sit pretty much flat. So now, we were working on DH. Let's see if I can find DH in my notes here. I might not be able to. I might have assumed, yeah. So upper 16 by 32 baseplate plan for DH. And I knew that I already had that. So now all we do is we're just going to set the grain tower there. And the idea behind this, here we go. Set that. Set that. Set that. Set that. The idea here is you have, this is not paved over with grass, although we might have some like sparse. Yeah, let's put some sparse bits of grass. Again, just showing this is not just like beach land. There's some little patches of grass here. You know, because when you're out and you see like some country roads, you'll notice that like, okay, well, there's some grass that's kind of trying to make its way through there. These aren't going to be even. They're going to be, put this like there. And then there's going to be a little bit less under the grain tower because that's going to be constantly. And again, this would be nice. We'll put some gravel. We'll put some dirt here as well. So what this is for is we have a truck that comes through here. So let's go get that. Okay, so this is the tractor and trailer that actually come into the farm. They get the grain. This kind of goes in here. So what we need to make sure of is, yeah, there we go. Again, I don't really love the tan. Like, I really wish there was... like, there's just... Unfortunately, since I'm using so many different colors for so many different purposes, like, there's a limited palette. Actually, let's just pull this up. I'm just going to rant for a second here. So, dark tan, I'm already using... I'll put it here, you can see it better. Here's our periodic table of colors. So first we'll talk about the grass. Original Lego green, this is the grass color we're currently using. Bright green, we'd like to shift our grass in the houses, like our manicured grass, to be this light green color, but that doesn't exist as a 1x1 stud with a hole in it. Lime, this is kind of our golf course grass. We've got a bunch of them over to the side here. And then spring yellowish green, they've just released the grass piece in that color, and I said I was going to use that for like the Great Plains. And what other green colors are there? There's dark green, which is what I'm going to use as grass, like forest undergrowth in my forest section, which is ungridded, so I don't have to worry about it as much. So that's grass. Then you ask, okay, so country roads, what color can those be? So right now we're in tan. But we also are using tan for sand. Like, tan tends to connote, like, beaches for us. So, unfortunately, I don't really love that we have these... Like, this is going to be the approach, the driveway leading up to the farm. It's going to look like it's beach again, but so what? Dark tan, we use as both our boardwalk, because that's the color that Lego's made their wooden brick piece in, and also when we're using wet sand, so sand close to the ocean, or dark sand. There's brown, but brown kind of looks like just classic Lego dirt, like Lego Minecraft dirt is kind of the dark brown color. Medium nugget would look fine, but that color is like used for wood. It's a very common wood color. And that starts to take us like to not having a whole lot else left. So I would love to use this dark orange color here, and I think I've been watching to see if we start to get 16 by 8 plates in that dark orange color, but I don't think we have that quite yet. Sometimes that's used for like certain kinds of like wood, but I don't know. I think of the pieces of the colors that we're working with here as of, what is this, 2020, the end of 2023, like that's pretty much what we've got to work with. So I'm going to keep an eye out for dark orange. But for now, this is what we've got. So we'll put this back where I got it. Carefully. So for now, we're stuck with tan. For now, it looks like our farm bleeds over onto the beach. do I want to make a note of that? Replace with dark orange. And is dark orange one of those colors that has a different name between Lego.com and Bricklink? No, it's actually one of the rare colors that has the same name on both platforms, which is kind of nice. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, so we just placed this tractor trailer. Control, save, go back to orders and route. Place this here since the cat isn't coming anytime soon. So I don't want to deal with this section yet, so we don't need anything else underneath there. But what we could definitely do is we could put some, I guess we could, actually let's look at the stray pieces that we have, because we have a couple of things to work with here. And then we need to get to these frontal base plates. Yeah, I'm just kind of doing a quick mental inventory of what all we're working with. I mean, if we keep following the instructions, it says A, B, E, F, so the rest of this, it wants me to put grass on. I'm not going to put grass on A or B yet because, like I said, I think that those are actually removable farmland sections, so that's okay. So let's see where we're going. So we should have at least... I think we're going to run out of tan base plates here pretty quickly. Because we should have at least 4, which are representing more crops. 1, 2, 3, 4 back here. So I'm just going to set those behind this barn, and that's okay. Up front here, we're going to need these 2. Unless we make this into double plates. Yeah, so this is a double plate. This is a double plate. Should be a triple plate. I think it does need to be a triple plate. So we're going to need to elevate this again, which could get interesting here. But actually, we can elevate it with feature elevators, which I'll talk about in a second. So actually, we're good here. We're good here. We're good here. That's basically what that's going to look like. We're good. Jackrabbit just went flying. We're good back here. And again, you can start to see the sponginess taking over. I can put grass on this one. So my next issue is... So I have 2 more issues coming up. So I need plates in the back that the swappable farmland can go on. So I think these are fine. So we put these back here. And then all I would need is... Yeah, I have this, so I don't want to waste it because I have it. I think I need another tan here, unless I'm going to make one of these not currently in use. But I want them to be swappable, which means I'd really like those to stay tan. So another choice that I have is, if I'm running out of base plates, how many plates do I have left here? 3? Is this what I thought I was going to use? So I could do something like this. I could go double tan right here. Or I could go single tan on a feature elevator. Which I don't love, but at least this way I've got big base plate, base plates in the side to make this reversible, and then right here we get into all of this. One, 2, 3, 4. I need to find something that says P, basically. LP, 1 16 by 16 tan, 1... No, not P, L. So L is a 16 by 16 tan plate. So I was expecting to use a plate here. So then what did I expect to put under the plate is the next question. Let's add some more scattered putting some more random bits of grass poking through here because, again, for now, this is the best color I've got. I think that's fine. Actually, don't like where that one is. Kind of have a little Minecrafty look here. Yeah, that's better. This was a cool set. Fold that up. 2 vehicles. So LP. So okay, we're backing up. So F was below the hay barn. CD and GH, we successfully put lower 16 by 32 base plates, and then we covered them with upper 16 by 32 base plates, which is great. We did that. KO, that's here and below. I needed a 8 by 16 green plate and a lot of grass. Oh, I was going to make a... Okay, this is cute. So now we're going to do something cute here. Okay. I'm going to highlight this because this is what I'm working with. We're going to make a little duck pond. It's going to be super cute. So let's see which bag I got this in. So what we're looking for right now is a 6 by 6 blue plate. Which is in here. Thanks, Lego.com. So we're basically going to make like a little duck pond. Yeah, it's super neat. Okay, so while I'm doing this, before I elevate all this top section with feature elevators, did I just like not think this through? No, I knew that I had these big base plates that I had to work with. So let's find, why did I think I need 16 by 16 green plate, 8 by 16 green plate? I don't really know why I thought I needed an 8 by 16 green plate, but whyever I thought that, I know it's back here now. Although it's not really going to help me back there. I guess we are going to ignore it for right now. My favorite tactic. And I think we can put these back because I don't think we're going to use them, which is okay. So we have a pond. It's kind of, I'm going to put this off-center. I think it's nice when things are a little bit off-centered. And I'm going to see all these little extra parts that originally came with the original farm set. I want to see what we're kind of doing with these. So we have extra railings, some of which are on 1x2 black bricks. We've got this. We've got 2 of these, actually. And then we've got a bunch of, like, I call these transition pieces. Okay, so here, by the way, here's those cows that everybody's bananas about. So cows, jackrabbit, dog, and it looks like a hamster, golden hamster. And then we have some mechanical parts. We'll set these off to the side. We don't need any of those right now. Race car helmet, more hamsters. Fields are overrun. The hills are alive with the sound of hamsters. A baby Dalmatian. 2 versions of a gray hamster. One has a pink nose. And then all these transition parts I'm going to leave, and we'll talk about what we're doing with those at the end. And a scarecrow. The scarecrow is somebody we're going to want to set off with parts, so I'm going to temporarily set the scarecrow back there. I'll set him sideways so we can see what's going to happen. So the next question is, I need to reconfirm what this... Here's a ladder. We don't need the ladder right now. We can put that in the hay barn, actually, for the moment. It just rests there. Put this to the side, put this to the side, put the trash can to the side. All those are things that grass is not going to go around. So now we have these. And we're actually, by the way, much closer to being done, except with the farmland, than it looks like we are. So we have 2 more of these. We know that those are going to go... Again, we want to separate this farmland. We want to really portion this off with all those nice stanchions, all those nice fences. So let's go to Bricklink, and let's really quickly, we want to pull up, and we kind of want to understand, basically, where were these pieces used? Where were these 1 by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 1 by 12 black pieces. So we're going to go to the instructions. Let's take instructions and order, bring to front, move to top. Okay. So we're going to the parts. First question, we verify, were there 1 by 12 plates in this set? Yes, there were 2 1 by 12 plates in the set. So now we'll go into the instruction or the images, and we see just by scrolling through the images, can we figure out where these was used? Those are really small. This is a little bit bigger. And like we just kind of look around. So what it looks like is that these might have been under the barn. It's still kind of hard to see. Still kind of hard to see. Not there. It would have been here. We don't have to use these the way the set originally used them, but sometimes it's nice to know. Okay, I suspect these were under the barn. But I don't think we're going to use them the way the set originally used them. So now let's go confirm that with the instructions here. I'm guessing it's going to be either 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3. Not 2 out of 3. Let's check 1 out of 3. Also not 1 out of 3. Let's check 3 out of 3. I support you on my other computer brick set, I promise. Okay, so now, right away, we're going to be able to find this. So this is, we are looking for, remember, we're looking for the, the hay storage, and here it is. So we can see that for the hay storage, what they originally did was they had this like this. And why did they do that? They did that because then they had sort of like fencing, but the fencing is to keep out animals, and if I'm a cow, I can't get in here even if there's no fence there, because there's that sort of the wall of it, which tells us that for us, using these 1 by 12s the same way the set uses them is not going to be as helpful. What I can do, let's carefully pick this all up, put the harvester to this side. What I guess I can do is I can kind of hide them underneath that. Yep. Click, click, out of sight, out of mind. And then, next question, was there actually an extra 2 by 2 black brick in the set? So again, we go through the same process. We go to parts. There were 9 of these originally, so there was an extra there was 1 extra. So let's figure out if we can see quickly how it was used. And then by seeing how it was used, we can determine if we want to use it in the same manner. You can see the loose hay there. There's the trash can. Interesting. It looks like it was up here. This is going to be... Let's not break this. Don't break. Okay, so it was originally right there. It's just a missing piece that I've since filled. So, again, we want to pry this apart without breaking it if possible. Got it. Place our piece. And I can see that this has actually a functional use on the set, although it's hard to describe. It keeps this from being pushed in. Oop, too far. There's all our stocks. Pop this back open. Oh no! Fire in the hole. Well, you just learned about the play feature of this set. Come on. As far as little disasters go, that wasn't too bad. Okay. So that makes it a lot easier to pull this out. I don't know if I really wanted it to be a lot easier. It was kind of nice when it could go in by 1 more stud. So actually, we're going to make that adjustment because, again, it's Lego. You can do whatever you want. So I'm going to take this out, find that black brick again, I'm actually going to move it back by 1 stud and then reattach the bottom where it holds in. And now I can... Can't I slide this in? Two. 1, 2. I don't exactly understand why this isn't working the way I expect it to. So let's watch it. Whatever, I'm playing with my Lego. It's something. Okay, so there it works. So now let's just put this like so. Oh, okay. I see why. There's also a 1x2 plate that we're going to need to move back by 1 stud. And that is exactly... Okay, there we go. So now it should work the way I expect it to when I place this back on there. Place this back on there. Now it works the way I expect it to. Okay, so refill back this up. All of that just to figure out where a spare set part belonged. But again, like, you know, this is a lot of people wanted this set, so like I want to make sure I keep it intact. Even if I'm making all these modifications to the land that it sits on, I don't want to lose any of its original pieces. So we hide those 2 black plates. We put away the 2x2, the 9th 2x2 black brick in roughly the original place it went to. Now this grain silo is kind of interesting. We were talking about this set mostly using very well-established old colors, but this nice... Let's see, can you actually see that on either of my views? Oh, no, you can't. But you could see it when I was holding it. The dark red color is a little different, a little interesting. Okay, so back to the primary image of the farm. And then let's go back here and let's get my notes. Let's bring this to front. Okay, so all of that, what were we doing all of that for? We did all that because we knew we were trying to determine, okay, we were just trying to lay out the farm as much as we could. So let's put the harvester back where it goes. And we know that we were working on KO, so we were working on this piece, this section right here. And we have this blue plate for this pond. So let's go ahead and I think I kind of like it maybe like right there. I like things to be not symmetrical. I feel like that's it. Well, and then I also have this. I also have this that I have to worry about eventually. I could put it like back here. Would you have the watering hole next to the fence, or would you have it sort of in the middle of the property? I feel like next to the fence is reasonable. Maybe something like that. And then we can have a grassy knoll over here, which would be in basically the center of the farmland. Do I like it there, or do I like it there? Do I like it there, or do I like it there? This is like right in the... Okay, I think I like it here. Yeah. So we're going to attach this now. Okay, so we place this. 8x16 green plate and 34 the grass, and then a pond, and then Lipu tiles, which are in here. So it says we only need 7 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 2, 1x1 trans blue tiles. There's 1. That is a stud. I need a tile. 2. And then 14 belay studs. So let's start kind of placing these so we see what we're working with here. I'll do a swap. There we go. 1. And you can already see the way that this is going to make the water pop. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, I think I actually needed 2 more 1x1 transparent tiles if I was really going to do this. How do I want to do this? How many studs am I allowing myself? Only 14? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14. I'm leaving. I need to cover 6. This will make sense in a second. So I'm now covering 1. Covering 2. Covering 3. Let's go ahead and place the studs real quick. Are they in here? Yes. So let's pull these. So I said I get 14. First, I always try to stick with the original design that would have been designed months and months ago, and then if you need to adjust it, you need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There they go. Isn't that kind of cute? Look at this. So we're covering what we know we need to cover here. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I feel like this is obviously supposed to be 16. So let's make this 16. First, let's see if Lego gave me any extra, because they often do for small parts. Yep, there's 1. And then there's 1 more. 2, probably stealing from something else, but I definitely have extra 1x1 round tiles. That is a pond. So now what I actually needed was 1 less of these, so this is actually going to become 6 1x2 tiles, and I actually need 4 total translite blue tiles. So we'll put this one back and we'll fish again. Here's 1, here's 2. Ready for this? 1, 2, 3. And actually, it'd be really cute if we had a lily pad piece here. Kind of sit in the middle of the pond, and we can do that. So I'm going to take this off carefully. Take this off. Put it sideways. Put this back. We could do lily pad. We could do koi. So I need to actually remind myself what the... Well, actually, do I? I suppose I could just go in here. See if I have anything. I feel like there's a specialized Lego lily pad piece, which I'm looking up not because I need to go buy that, but because I feel like I've built a set that uses it. And I'd like to just remember what I'm looking for. Lego 1x1. Lily pad. Oh, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, They usually make it with four parts instead of with one single. So no, there has not been a 1x1 Lego lily pad. Lily pads have a really distinctive shape. What I am going to do instead of a lily pad, though, is I'm going to pick up a 1x1 plate instead of a tile. And what that's going to let us do is, remember our rubber ducky from before? Quack. There it goes, duck in a pond. Couldn't be happier. Happier than a duck in a pond. Okay, now it's time for everybody's favorite part. We're going to tile. So first of all, let's move our grassy knoll. So we're going to pick this up. And we're going to say this is going to go like right about here. I think that looks lovely, which means that we need to take out 3, starting with this one and going upward. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that we can place this grassy knoll down. So we'll set the knoll to the side. There's a bunny there, by the way. Luckily, the brick separator is going to make this not as miserable as it would otherwise be, because we can do 2 at a time. So there. And then in a second here, I'll talk about when I say a black base, what I mean. We're really getting there. We're really making progress here. Except that I despise the use of the tan sand color for the country roads. But, oh well, what can you do? Well, Kira, instead of complaining, you could do something about it. No, I actually can't. What was the color I was talking about? Dark orange? All right, fine. Here's how we do this. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to say instructions, order, move up. Instructions, order, move to top. Why is that not working? Notes, order. Okay. Oh, because the screen was, oops, it wasn't working because I'm dumb. That's fine. So we go back here. We're gonna go to Bricklink. Ready? I'm gonna show that this doesn't work. I'm going to search plate 8x16. Bricklink is not stupid, so it can figure out generally what I'm looking for. Here's the part. I can see all colors that this has been made in, but I'm going to actually skip going through that, and I'm going to look at... I want to find this appears in sets, and I can sort by color. Let's go with a thumbnail gallery. White, light bluish gray. Actually, can I just go ahead and filter? Summary? Here we go. So the color we were looking for was dark, or oh, there is olive green. And then there's reddish orange. I don't know what reddish orange is. Let's go back. Actually, I feel like olive green would not be the worst. I'm not really using that piece as a key indicator anywhere, and it's not a key... It doesn't appear in that many LEGO Minecraft sets. How recent is this part? The most recent use was in 2022 as part of the Llama Village. So LEGO Minecraft... Oh, also in the Illager raid, which tells us that LEGO Minecraft uses this to represent a sort of savanna-y biome. Yeah, I think that's a savanna. But honestly, I don't hate that. I don't hate that color. Okay, let's see about What is dark orange? What is reddish orange? The Madrigal House. I'm like super unfamiliar with this color. Let's go to Brickset again. Reddish orange. Parts. That probably means that that Brickset and Bricklink have different. Ugh. It's fine. Scroll. So it's not dark orange. We talked about dark orange possibly being something that would work for this. Again, if I just do a quick Google search of like country roads or like country roads, it's going to come up with all kinds of weird stuff, but that's fine. So we want like here. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about a nice like dirt road. Actually, the olive green is not bad. But it's like a grayish brown because we want the idea is they're like dirt roads, but they're like when is Lego? Here we go. Here again. So this is like, I mean, honestly, that could be like brown. Do I care if they're just dirt? But I don't want it to be dirt roads. I want it to be like, can I open image in new tab? I know I'm being silly right now. Yeah, so this, I don't know. I don't want to use just the brown because the brown means dirt. And this is not just dirt. This is dirt with like gravel that's been like this is like a road that's been paved over time. It's literally grayish brown. That is like the actual name of the color. So like the olive green, I mean, if I had a big olive green piece that I could compare, that would be helpful, but I don't think I do. There's no Lego color that is giving grayish brown, although I think that the dark orange is like by far the closest that I've got. Let's keep looking at some pictures for a second. Here we go. Gravel on dirt. I mean, this literally, like, the dark orange is perfect here. Gravel on dirt. Here we go. This one looks kind of tan, but again, it doesn't look sandy beach tan. It just looks kind of like... This one actually looks like... Do I want the olive green? Am I going to do this and convince myself that I actually want the olive green? I don't think I do. I think I want... Here's like a path. This is like straight up gray. Yeah, I think the olive green is giving Savannah. Once Minecraft has made use of it, there's not much more you can do. That's like yellowish green. Actually, that's very olive green again. What is this reddish orange color? Dark orange. I know we like the dark orange already. Dark orange plate 6x10. What is this? Color info. Can I search a color on Bricklink? Reddish orange. Nope. Actually, again, the better way to do this is now to go back. I think we've convinced ourselves that the dark orange is... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. I just found a Brickset article about this. So 3 new colors have been introduced. Reddish orange can be found primarily in city space sets and friends, and is useful expanded technique space sets. Parts available in reddish orange. And we should see the... Oh, I don't hate this color. I don't hate this color. I don't hate this color. So, can you show me reddish orange versus dark orange? So this is cool orange. This is orange. Are we sure it's not the same dang thing as this? Okay, red, reddish orange, orange, dark orange, brown, dark brown. On this picture, reddish orange is still very orange, whereas dark orange is still perfect for what we're looking for. Dark orange is desaturated and brownish. Reddish orange is very vibrant, basically a solid version of trans neon orange. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You guys are sitting here like, what? You guys know I go insane about colors. I really do go insane about colors. But it makes the builds fun. So that is absolutely not to the reddish orange. But I really want to see dark orange. Because if I can just solve this once and for all. Okay, so this is in dark orange, so we can go look at the dark orange color family on Brickset. I am just like more familiar with how to navigate Brickset, basically. Yeah, this is the color I want. This is the color I want, specifically because it hasn't been like, please stop. Category plates. Okay, so we decisively narrowed out reddish orange. We want dark orange. So when it comes to plates, all we're looking for is something that would tessellate into 8x16. Ha! Look at this Goomba. That's cute. This part is clearly used a lot in Mario. We've got some wood colors in dark orange. Oh, used in Sailboat Adventure. That's the only time. That's interesting. More Goombas. So all of our Goombas are clearly this dark orange color. I don't think I have any Goombas right around me right now. Actually, I guess... But I'd have to go look for them. Come on. Give me something that is a multiple of 4. So these are 10x16 for the Harry Potter book covers. That's too big. I need 8x16. Or 16x16, I guess. We're solving this once and for all. 2x16. That's a bit excessive. It's 2x6. 3x3. Come on, I believe. The dream is real. 4x6. 4x8. Only produced in 2008. That's not helpful to me. Although 4x6... I can't get 6 into... No, that's not going to work. 6, 12, 18. 6 by 10, 6 by 12. I need you to not be 6 by 14, 6 by 16, 8 by 8. Okay, so when was that produced? 2023, which means Lego might have it. Lego might have it. Poof! Ugh. Yeah. Okay, so the biggest we've got so far is 8 by 8. So my question here is, this is not a very expensive part on Brick Link. I think we're just going to keep this up, and we're just going to keep in mind that this is going to be the color. Like, we see this color. It looks kind of dull on Brickset, but we literally see it right here in front of us, and it's the right color for what we're looking for. Okay, that was a long goose chase, but it's okay because we learned that reddish orange is a trap, so we don't have to worry about that. Reddish orange, yeah, and this Brickset picture makes it a lot clearer. The reddish orange is a trap. Just release this part in an 8 by 16. So this is what happens. Lego releases parts, but not in the colors that I want, and I sit around waiting for years for them to catch up with what I'm actually trying to do, and it slows down the stream. Okay, that was a lot of distraction. So let's go back here, put this away again. It's gonna look nice. It's gonna look nice. And as for the tan, we don't need to worry about those because they're just removable. That's just telling me that they're removable. Although we do need to worry about that one. When the time comes, we can shift this. I don't even need to explain it. Like, I kind of know how we can do this. So, okay. But for now, it's just going to look a little bit sandy. It's just going to look a little bit like tan, which is fine. So let's go over to the notes. We're going to say, how many do I need? 4, 8, 12, 24, 5, 6, 27, 28. I think that's the correct amount. 4, 8, 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 4 is 28. So replace with dark 8, 28, orange, 28, dark orange, 8 by 8. And this is basically my buy order. And then I'm also, when I replace this, I'm going to have to... so I'm actually not going to need either of these two because I'm going to have a tan coming up. That's fine. I think I understand how that goes. And then I am going to need two... Is there a way I can even this out? Hang on, I'm thinking. I don't think there's an easy way I can even this out. But I can use feature elevators again. Yeah, I think we can do that. We can use feature elevators. Yeah, I have an idea in my mind. That's fine. For how to tie all this together. And actually, all of this stuff, since this is... So what these do is these go at the end of the roads. So they would look something like this. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then on the other side, it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is basically connecting these roads, the country road, to the dirt road that was there before, which is fine. So we're going to take all these parts. And we're just going to put them in the truck so I don't lose them. Let's try that again because I missed 3 different ones. Put them in the trailer so I don't lose them. And put this away. So I'm not going to be using any of these on the farm since we've just come up with that replacement. And that's fine. So let's get back to it. Okay, so we made this cute little duck pond. Should we use 4 more? I think we should use 4 more. So here's 1. So duck pond, instead of 16 blaze studs, we're going to use 20, which is equal to 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finish our duck pond here. Let's swap. Actually, we don't need to swap. We got a pretty good visual here. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and actually, so now we've got this. So there's our hill. So let's go ahead and poke off what I know I'm going to need to stud there. And with that, it's time to dance. Time to fill in a bunch more grass here. So here we go. We'll do a swap. We'll just enjoy doing that again. And I'll go ahead and go here. Pull this up. It's always clear what we're doing. Here we go. Oh boy, here I go, Thailand again. And you're going to see as the grass kind of backs up to the duck pond, it's going to look nice. Get the grass under the fence here. I should really have some fences for the front of the property, but I don't. And that looks, I mean, look at that. It looks nice. I actually really like tiling water, which you'll see when I do a stream where I this fence back on, put this one down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Okay, we've got grass under the fence. Then we just keep going. We start with the hardest parts, then you work your way to the easier parts, basically. I am going to open a window because I'm... All right, I'm sure I'm going to be freezing cold in a second here, having opened that, but it's fine. Okay, now we're opening this massive bag of green grass. It's probably not going to be enough even. I've seen what a bag of 1,000 looks like, and it's still bigger than this. So, always punished. You can see we've left the outline of where the grassy knoll was going to go. I think that grassy knoll came from the chicken coop set. The chicken coop goes right here. Actually, since we know now that we're keeping that part the way it is, I can go get the chicken coop in a second. Is it the biggest Lego farm in the world? No, but it's fun. Again, we still haven't started the farmland, which is fine. I do think we kind of had to do all this way because we couldn't avoid, there was no way to use, it's nice to use base plates like I have with those back to 32 by 32s. It's nice to use base plates when you, actually there's only one 32 by 32. It's nice to use base plates when you can, but it's not always possible when you have plates that you have to deal with as well. I do think I can elevate that. I'm thinking out loud here. I think I can elevate this section back here with a... Yeah, okay, that's actually a great idea. So I'm going to need one of these. And we'll come back to that section in a moment, which is great because we've been avoiding it for a while now. First, I'm trying to get all of this straight. Just tiling. Oh my gosh, I feel so good having come up with a color that I like. Oh, you know what the last thing we didn't do? Oh, this is going to be so annoying. I do want to... So we've got this color, so I'm going to go back to the color again. What I wanted to see was if this color means anything particularly. Okay, so I want to look at this part. I want to browse by... can I look at... I would love to look at sets this color appears in. And the reason I'd like to do that is because... Okay. Let's look at the most basic. Let's look at a brick. No, actually, I think we need to look at plates. Please stop. Let's find, we just want to find, okay, a 1 by 1. So now if I go to this element, I can look at appears in sets. And I want to sort by the theme. It's brick set, stop it. Yeah, I want to see how this color is used in Minecraft. Okay. So here, I think the way it's used in Minecraft is it looks like it's just a particular color of wood. Yep, there it is again. Wow, I actually really nailed it on. Okay, there it is again. But what color wood is it? There it is again. And here we have a lot of it. So is it swamp wood? Is it jungle wood? This frog is that color too. Here we're getting it here. The pickaxe mine, the pillager outpost. Over here. Yeah, so it looks like it's a particular color of wood, but I don't really mind it being a particular wood color in the Minecraft theme because it's just, they have so many of them. And it's not the iconic nougat color that stands for wood, like, everywhere. So, although there is a lot of it, and it's appearing in sort of this savanna biome, mostly. This is taiga. This is swamp. Golem. It's an accent color. It kind of is an accent color in the Minecraft theme, and I don't think I have a big problem with that, basically. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. What I was looking for is whether it appears as a base plate in the Minecraft theme, which, I mean, I should be grateful because if it did, then I'd have an 8x16 version of it. But it's fine. This isn't bothering me. Back to tiling. And yes, I'm already getting chilly from having that window open, so... Fickle, fickle, fickle. Like, this is totally crazy that I'm tiling basically 3 32 by 32 base plates worth of grass, but it just looks so good when it's done. It looks so cohesive. It really ties everything together. It eliminates the difference between different color green plates underneath. It does a lot. I should really have another fence probably up front here to stop the animals from wandering off. Right now there's only a fence between the animals and the grain loading bin, but it does look kind of nice even if it seems a little silly that there's not more animal pens. And if I am able to get more of these fences, I would only need... Well, I'd need one right there. We'll go grab that chicken coop in a second so we can see where that goes. Look at all this. This is nice. Lost one. Okay, this one's done. That's promising. We'll slot this on right here. And then we can put these two pieces together, like so. Look at that, a nice big farm section. And then let's get this one up here, since we know we're not going to retile back here. We'll get rid of these tan pieces in a second here. I have a plan. I have a plan. Incredible. And that kind of holds it together too. Okay, so this goes here, but I am actually going to set it aside because I'm leaving this for last. I'm reminding myself I'm leaving that for last. One other thing that's very easy is I can do this one. Yep. So we're going to kind of push that down. We're going to pry this up from its neighboring base plate, and we're going to tile this entire section here. Come up. Up you go. Up you go. And I want to actually pull the pins back off of this one, and there's a very specific reason for that we'll get to in a second. Up. Up. And up. Okay, so we'll take, here we go. So we always start with the hardest sections first. So let's just carefully pull this entire thing off. Boom, set that back. Almost broke it, but didn't quite break it. So we're gonna get in here and we're gonna tile all of this. See how bananas it is doing a big build like this? Literally 90% of what we've done today is just put grass on, but there's been a lot of talking about sort of how and why we're doing things the way we're doing them. And this is the barn, so this is basically the pens where somebody can stay. I'm trying to remember. I feel like, was there like a pig pen set? Do I have that? Is that part of this? I don't think I have it. Do I want it? I feel like if I wanted it, I would have gotten it before I started the farm build originally. Let's search pig. We're going to look at sets. Whoa, what was that? Whoa! What is King Pig's Castle? Oh, Angry Birds. That's funny. Forgot that there was an Angry Birds movie. We want to filter by theme, city. Yeah, pig farm and tractor. Okay, I mean, this was cute, but if I remember correctly, these are the same pigs that I have from some other set. Oh, there is 4 of them, which is pretty impressive. Let's take a look. Let's just find out. Parts. We want the pig. Probably not that many parts here. Pig in 4 sets. And the burrow. So I have the burrow. I actually have this edition of the burrow from 2010. So I have a pig there. Farmer. Tractor. And Kingdom's Advent Calendar. I mean, I guess I could track down this little set from 2010. This is only a few bucks. So actually, let's do this. I like this. So this is how the space profile of this item right here is just a 2x4. So we're going to leave a 2x4 carve out. It's a water trough, actually, which actually this set, so it has one right here. So this is going to tessellate really well. So let's put one like, so let's carve this out for ourselves. Put this away. That's cute. Come down here. So it looks like this. I feel like I want to disencourage the animals to drink from the water, but I also want to have the water available. So let's put it here. So we're going to put these 4 studs as a carve out. like so. And I think that's a totally reasonable place to put a... Let me do that. There we go. There's a 4x4 carve out. And then you can easily bring your water bottle from the pool, from the pond to the trough. So we'll put this back and we'll keep tiling. Look at that, just like that. Because, like, I have the burrow. It's actually already set up in my residential section, but, like, I don't want to take the pig from that set, take the rare pig from that set. I guess that pig is going to have a different color than my cute little pink pigs that have been popping off and on the screen back here. Just putting grass. Okay, so we just got to the part we're going to put this piece back. And this crate. And then we have a trash can that we need to place as well. If I was the farmer, where on earth would I put a trash can around here? Unclear. I feel like right there is reasonable. So let's put it as a carve out again. Actually, let's just go ahead and do these fences. Space in front of them. We'll finish the carve out for the little farmer pig pen place. I'll set these fully aside. I'm putting that there just because it looks nicer than the mess of the parts from Lego. Okay, we said here-ish made sense for a trash can. I think I've moved that once, but that's okay. Put it to the side. So now I'll pick up this one and we'll go back where we were. Is this the most grass I've ever placed? Yes, this is the most grass I've ever placed. I think the biggest residential section that I've built would be 24 by 32, but the overwhelming majority of that profile would have been covered by oh, that's interesting. I'll talk about that in a second. The overwhelming majority of that profile would have been covered by the building in question. Am I skipping around? Yes, but like that's just kind of how you stay sane doing something like this. I think I'm going to make it the goal to finish up the actual farm, and then we'll get to the farmland in a second, possibly on the next stream, which is actually fine because the farmland is going to be repetitive in a different kind of way, but at least getting ready for it will allow me to clean up my workstation, which I haven't been able to clean up while the farm has been here. So... lots of grass. Isn't that duck pond just a nice little feature on the grassy hill? I like it's just the little details like that that I think a small change in elevation can really do so much for a build. Now, if I had a way to mass apply all of these, I would be happy. Tile around this stack of hay that we placed way earlier. And again, when I say tile, I just mean like complete. I do actually sometimes do this same sort of technique to place like floorboards in houses. I think we've talked about that once. There's a very particular color. I think it's called sand blue. Either sand blue or royal blue. Probably sand blue, because I think royal blue is discontinued. That I just buy one by one tiles in, and it's as if there's like one tile factory in the Lego town that like supplies all the houses with their precious tiles. Okay. Getting there. Notably, this one is twice as big as the section we tiled earlier today, so... Getting there. Also getting deep into our stock of grass. And I love how when you have these items like the block of hay or the barrel back there, and since they're not on the grass, it looks like they kind of like sit into it. Wow, it's so funny trying to see. Let's lift this up. This is what it kind of looks like, and they kind of like sit into it in a way that looks really realistic. This must look like absolutely bonkers. That's okay. Nice, there we go. Was that the halfway point? I think that was like vaguely the halfway point. So another 16 by 16 down. Does something go over here? I don't think so. Oh wait, no, we've done two 16 by 16s because we did under the we also did under the grain silo, not the grain silo. Yeah, the grain storage. The hay storage. Got it. Sweet. So this is actually the fourth 16 by 16 that we have tiled with grass today. Now. And back to the bag. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do with the massive bag of lime green ones that I think I originally got for this, but I'm glad that I didn't have to retile anything for them. Even if I had like a little meltdown about the grass colors last time. I'm gonna freaking run out of green grass. Oh my gosh, look at this. Okay. Okay, another one down. Fence, fence, trash can, future pig trough. And let's just carefully place you back again. Go. Zoop. Done. Done with that section. Now. It's really coming together. It's definitely coming together. I used up close to my whole stash of green. Oh, I have more actually. Never mind. So now what we need to deal with is this that we've been avoiding this whole time back here. So the first problem is this a 1x6? Is this an 8x16? Okay, it's close enough. So I don't really want to disconnect this whole thing. There we go. The little lamb. There's the new pigs, by the way. Nice pink colored pigs. So I'm going to elevate both of these. Am I? So I'm definitely going to elevate this. So this is going to be level 1, 2, 3. This is going to be a full brick high. So I can set this... Well, actually, I can't set that brick as a reference point. Doesn't matter. So what I need to do is I need to place this. So the usual suspects. We go 1, 2... 3, 4. Now I have to start breaking these apart, so that's fine. So I've already allocated these 2x4 plates to the set, so I'm just going to grab them. Just say 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I still want 5 pins to make sure there's no pressure on the plate. So let's find some weird shaped things. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that will be sufficient to keep the pressure off. Put this back. And now we're going to place this. So what's going to happen is this base plate's going to be placed here. But, oh wow, that just ripped off all of the little pins. 1, 2. But before we place it, we basically need to... I don't know that we need to keep the grass back here. Actually, this we're going to leave for the bitter end. But this one does need to be placed on top here. But I think it can just be placed directly on top, actually. Yeah, and then those extend over. So actually, that wasn't very complicated at all. Do we have any more grass we need to place here? It looks like we have 1, 2 right here. 1, 2. And then probably 2 at the other end, because these are circular base plates. That's going to be hard for me to show without dumping everything out. Let's try it. Yeah, circular base plates. And then we should be able to just slot this right in on top. Yep, easy. Finding as many connection points as possible. I'm never a fan of pushing plates onto base plates or vice versa, but whatever connection point studs you can find, you have to use. The original version of my Lego Minecraft display, I did this surprisingly often. I'm going to snap these pieces in half if I go too hard here. So yeah, you really want to avoid this as much as possible. Take off this. This is pretty good. I've got it pretty well on there. That goes there. Okay. Now, before we rip all the studs off of this and put it on, we're gonna save that till the very end when we've determined how many cute little pasture back here. So we're gonna set that right on because that actually goes there. Slide this back where it goes. I will put all this back on. That goes there. Connect the 4 studs for connection points, and the rest just rests. Put the washing hose there. The minifigure who was washing this pig can go back where they came from, which is there. It's a lamb, actually, not a pig. And that all rests rather nicely. Okay. Slide this back into its plot. Yeah, so we haven't elevated it yet, so it's off by a stud. But what we need to deal with now is, since we're actually doing really, really well here. Since we, actually, let me take a quick second. Okay, so I'm not bringing out the I did not bring out the tops of the two barns yet because they're just in the way of seeing what we're doing here, but I can place this. I can place this chicken coop now, which is cute. Chickens! Where are all the chickens? Oh, they're in there. They're both in the coop. Can I open these windows? I think those windows might be stuck in place. I believe in you, chickens. I got it! There we go. I'm going to open that up so the chickens can see the world. It's kind of cute. Put this back. Okay, so now I said before we deal with this last section back here, with the scarecrow and this other little harvester, yep, there we go. Before we deal with that section, we need to make this adjustment that we came up with based on the fact that we will be using those reddish-brown pieces instead of tan pieces, which I feel very happy about. Set this back here precariously. Okay. So the first thing that means is that road back here is not going to actually, I think that just made this much easier because this is going to be indented. That road, the dirt road, is indented against the sides. So we're going to pull this whole thing. So first, let's take this one away. And let's take this whole big section. It's all coming off. Just that we just placed earlier. Set that to the side. We're going to come over here. I think these can just go away because we're not going to use them anytime soon. Okay, so we're going to pick up this whole big base plate. We're actually going to break this up. So the one that's the same color as the other one... Actually, I better do this properly so I don't snap any Lego pieces. Stop tipping. Up you go. 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 Great. So now over here we've got a basically complete base plate. And we want to make sure that our stables, that's what it is, our stables can easily fit on here. So we're going to use our new method of applying pins. And we're going to use all of these tiles. So we're going to get our pins in our corners. I don't think we need this one or this one anymore. Yep, we can do that. This can go here. This can go here. I guess since we're doing a 16 by 32, we can put pins in the center, which looks like roughly here. And then let's temporarily pull up everything else. Yeah, that seems fine. And we'll be able to see why we're doing this in a moment here. Oh, it's been a lot of work today. And then this one. Okay, we'll set this aside for a moment. So we're working down here. We've got this. Let's cover our centers again. I think we care more about places where you might depress. So there's one. There's one. There's one. There's one. There's one. There's one. And then the line between them. That leaves me with 4. So we can go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we need to cover here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think I want 4 more. So we're going to take these extra pins. And this is great. This is an extra piece that we absolutely love to have. We love to have extra pins. Now, where we can put them that the cat won't get them, that's a different question. So come back here. We said we need 4 more. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Lots of extra pins and an extra tile, but that's okay. We'll come back to this in a second. So now this is easy. That's done. We're just going to set our thing right on top of it. Boom. 1, 2. Bunch of connection points. 3, 4, 5, 6. Done. Sturdy as anything, and it slides right back there at the exact same height as the other one. Just beautiful. So now back here, here's the thing. Set those aside. So now what we're going to do is this whole area, this is going to be composed, this is going to be flush to the ground. We're going to have our dirt road just right on the ground. So what we might want is basically like, this. We're going to want some 2x2 belay plates that are basically going to look like rocks that we can use to hold that road together. And then we'll put some grass on the side. So I think it's going to be about 10 grass, 10, 20, 30. I guess I'll just do that when it comes in. Grass on the side, roads in the middle. So we're going to put this back, but we're not going to worry about it anymore. And now this piece and this piece, what they're going to be for is they are going to be connection points, just like back here. They're going to be connection points for... I actually don't know that we're going to use this 16x16 tan plate anymore either. So we'll have to make a note that we did not, that we took this out of the set and we took this out of the set, but everything else we basically used as planned. So we're going to go back here. We're going to need to get that ready to go. And then this is where the farmland is going to go, all in here. Again, this goes right here, so that's how the farm kind of all comes together, but we need to do a little bit more work here. So we're going to prep these 2 base plates to have different interchangeable farmland sitting on top of them. We're in such great shape. This is like pretty much exactly how I kind of hoped this string would go, so I'm very happy about that. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to spread out their pins, their connection points. All those connection points that we just freed up earlier, we're going to use them again. Okay. 2, 3, 4. We want ones in the middle, so 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we want ones in the center, 9, 10. And we're going to need a few more. We need one here. We need one here. And then back here, we're going to need to do the same thing, which is going to be a little bit harder to track. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah. We want all 4 of these spots able to come up. And the reason for that is because these are removable, so we need the 4 corners covered. I guess we don't really need the centers covered here. Since we want these to be removable, it's probably best that all these are the same. Let's see. Which is annoying to go back and do, but let's just do it. All of these extra pins, which will get used eventually. It's very funny that I got this one bag of parts here. I guess this must have been a Bricklink order that included these clear pins. That's my guess. There we go. Only the 4 corners, not the centers, because we're not resting a 16 by 32s on these. Check our accuracy. Great. Now we need a ton of these. Here we go. Need a ton of these. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I want to not use Blay. I'll use all the weird colors. 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. I think we're done with this for the last time today. Okay. So, what have we done? Let's set this aside for now. So now there's only one thing left to really figure out, and that is what I'm doing with this last 8x16 patch of grass back here. So let's do a swap again, and let's take a look at the notes. So let's quickly say an update on what we did not actually use. So, did not end up using one 16x16 tan plate, 8 8x16 tan plates. For now, I think that's it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to basically, we just want to look through this. I kind of want to understand. Okay, so again, the section we're looking at, is there 16x16 squares? We're looking at section E. E is an elephant. Here's F, A, B, E, F. I said to just grassy tile it, but I need to know, do I have 6 pieces of farmland? Or do I have 7? So we're going to have to scroll down, and we're going to find out what crops we're using. And for the crops, we actually we set up these crops basically the way that we would have set stole crops that have been used across the Lego world in Lego Fortnite, in Lego Minecraft, and then I think I did one custom one. E, reddish-brown jumpers for tilled soil and tan tiles for smooth soil. I can do that. I'm just going to be doing E as a half instead of a whole. So now we want to check A, B, and 3, 4, 5, 6. So A, B, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the following. I'm going to do this whole thing. So here are the crops that we're going to plant. Fortnite wheat, Fortnite raspberry, Minecraft wheat, Minecraft green stalks, Minecraft sugarcane, and my custom cotton. Okay, so you're probably not following that, but basically here's what we need to do, because I'm actually going to remove the entire farm from this video before I start planting crops. But I need to finish this last section here. So I'm going to set this to the side, and I'm going to pull it, and I'm going to set this to the side, and I'm going to pull this all up. Set these extra animals to the side. Here's an extra pin that went flying somewhere. So we're actually done with grass now. Except for the grass that's going to go on the sides of the roads. So actually, let's go ahead and say, I'm going to pull back up this Lego bag, and I'm going to stuff this. So let's test this. We're going to pretend that this is side of a road. I'm just gonna kind of like eyeball it a little bit of like, this might be how much the grass is creeping out. Something like this. And we'll see how many I used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I used 8 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14. And we do a simple calculation. 8 times 14. 80 plus 8 times 4, 24, that's 104. So we're going to try to count out about 100 grass. And I'm going to put those in a bag so that I know that when I eventually get... Actually, that's dumb. No, it's not dumb. It's not dumb. It's not dumb. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42. So now here's the thing. This is no longer being used the way I thought it was going to be used. 44. Oh gosh, this is going to take forever, but it has to be done. 46. 48. 50. 52. 54. 56. 58. 60. 62. 64. 66. 68. 70. 72. 74. 76. 78. 80. 82. 84. 86. 88. 90. 92. 94. 96, 98, 100, 102, 104. So this is the sparse grass growing on the sides of the road. I'm going to put that into this Lego.com bag. And I'm going to set that aside until I have that nice dark orange road that we identified earlier ready to put into the farm. And then I know that whatever green grass is left in that bag over to the side, I can use for gosh knows how many other projects I'm going to need green grass for, because I'm always using this green grass. Great. So this is set aside. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and just put these extra farm pieces in here too. And set that aside. Okay, now, oh, well, actually, I need this plate, which means that I need to finish taking these off, even though now these aren't going back to the farm. They're going back to sort of my stash, and I'll put my stash away until I need it on the next project. And actually, I'm realizing I ripped open a Lego bag for this. They literally sent me, since I got so many of these, they sent me that little bag that just had them in it, which is now not reusable. So I'll put these back in the little IKEA bag we set aside earlier. Rendered unusable. This isn't so bad. Again, you just kind of get into the zen of it all at some point, and it's totally workable. I do want to take 4 more of these grass pieces and put them... Actually, what is the point of these yellow pieces on these pigs? I don't quite understand it. So let's engineer that for a second. I understand the pigs being on brown because they eat up the roots of the grass or something. That's fine. But these yellow pieces are just egregious. So I'm going to set this aside. We're going to need that in a second. Let's get this pig thing off. I'm going to put it down by 1 more. Here. And then I'll be able to use these yellow parts in a second, actually. Which means I'm going to want grass back here. Actually, I don't want any more grass. I'm going to put the pigs like this. That's fine. And then I'll go back into the farm here. I'll use grass. And here I'll use grass. Nope, I don't like that. I want this one. This is a small little detail, but it is what it is. I'll put that right there. Put this right here. Put that right there. Adult and baby pigs. Some cute little baby pig pieces. Yeah, there we go. And put the farm back to the side. And these go back into this. This bag is now broken, like we said. So here's an IKEA bag of green parts, green grass. And then I'm going to dump this bag into there as well. And I'll put this IKEA bag away until I need it again. Because I don't think I'm going to need it right away. And this is trash. All right, so now it's time to learn about feature elevators. So this goes like so. And the grass is coming down there. Ooh, that actually makes a really nice natural hill. But here, I don't want that one to be on a natural hill. So we need black bases. Black bases are what you get left behind when you make collectible minifigure stands. So let's ask ourselves if I have any of them right now, because I certainly should. Here they are. I have fewer than I thought I did, so this is going to have to be a little conservative here. Okay. So these sections in front here I want to elevate. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to see what's already attached. So this is already attached, so I'm actually going to respect that. I'm going to take this piece that I know I need to use anyway. Let's pull off the chicken coop just so it doesn't fly off somewhere. And I'm going to attach it on the bottom. And again, I'm doing the thing I dislike where you attach base plates together, or plates together, but I'm going to try to basically compress, and there went my eggs, compress every stud that I can see when I'm looking at the bottom to get it as flush as possible. And then I'll get it with my palm too. So let's set this aside. So we're just going to come down here, we're going to palm it, trying to cover every single stud. And at some point you'll hear it stop creaking, which is your indicator that it's compressed. So now that's not going anywhere. Drop the piece. Okay, so now that that's not going anywhere, we want to look at the underside. Let's not drop our eggs again. So on the underside, that's nice and flush. So we're going to need 5 of these over here for that barn. So there's 5. And then we're just going to start using the rest. And there's not really a limit here. I don't know that we ordered any of these from Lego in this order. So we just kind of want to cover the corners the same way we've been doing with like everything else. So 1, 2, and then I know we have to use these, so I'll put this one right here. 3. Do the same thing down here. Cover these corners. And what we're doing is just like how we use pins between base plates, we use plates underneath plates, and that's going to elevate this while reducing the chance that that you can like cause a problem by applying pressure to it. And it's actually going to be pretty stable with that big 8x16 plate in the middle. So I put that down, and I've now elevated this by exactly 1 plate, so it's now flush again with all of this. And now you can really see, look at all the light reflecting right here on the non-grass section, and here where I put all this grass so laboriously. It's so smooth. It's got so much beautiful texture to it. That it really stands out. Really stands out. And it is slightly warped, but that's just the nature of Lego, so I can like put a weight on here over time. Okay, so we did that one. Let's put the eggs back for the egg girl. Give her her eggs back. Come back over here. Now we need to elevate this one, unless we want that to be a step down. And I'm kind of evaluating if I want it to be a step down, but I think I don't. I think I'd like this to still be step up. Sheep shearer, put him back where he goes. So for this one, this is going to be simple. It's just going to be, can I flip this upside down safely? 2 poops just appeared. Okay. Thanks, Lego. So we can see that this is a plate and a brick. Let's swap. So I want to do this in a different... Let's do it like this. 1, 2... 3, 4. And then because of the way this is built, I'm actually going to use 6 here. 5, 6 black bases. And that's going to be very, very sturdy when I flip it back over and put the poop back in the poop bin. Boom. And now, once again, it matches the level of the other things. It's all very flush. It's very, very visually pleasing. There we go. I guess I could tile all of this, but it's kind of fine. The idea, I guess, is... It doesn't matter. I guess the idea is like you swing open these doors and you're chafing the grass underneath it so the grass can't grow there. Also, look, these are the Disney 100 bases. I guess they're... I don't know that there's anywhere particularly special I would use them, but if I was just using these just now, I was not even noticing it, so... Am I going to regret that? I'm going to make a slight note of that. That might matter. That might slightly matter to me someday. So we're just going to make a quick note as follows. So the note's going to say... Also, look at this. Look at this beautiful farm. Right now it's 16 times 3 by 16 times 3. It's not quite 2 by 2 base plates. Look at this beautiful farm. I'm going to note added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Added 14 black bases, including some Disney 100 ones, question mark. That's fine. Okay. So now we're in the end game here, because all we have left is the actual literal farmland. Let's do a swap. All we have left is to fill out the actual farmland. So here's the thing. What I'm going to do, since we overestimated what we needed a little bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the Minecraft. So we had Minecraft, Orange Stocks, Minecraft. So we're going to do, we have, let's see, 34 minutes until 5, or an hour until 5:30. There's a small chance that we could actually do all the farmland. So let's do a test. So we want to find A, B, 3 to 6 is 6 of the following. So we're going to test with a super basic one. For each one of these, I need an upper tan base plate. We need pins and tiles. And then we need reddish-brown jumpers. Okay, that's here. Here's the big stock of reddish-brown jumpers. Look at that. We need so many of these. So we're going to place all of these right now. I actually had a slight... Oh, boy. That's a lot. So many. So much farmland. It's trash. The reason I'm not getting the farm out of the way so I can work in a slightly bigger space here yet is because I want to remember what on earth we're actually doing. Farmland and 1 by 8 dark tan tiles. Where are those? For smoothed soil. 1 by 8 dark tan tiles. I don't think those are down here. Dear viewer, please hold. Yeah, so this is a slight issue. I can't figure out which order I got all the 1x8, so it's this, but it's in dark tan. And there should be a lot of them, because there should be 7 times 16 of them. That's like a massive, massive order. So it's probably just like, I'm sure it's just miscategorized, but I don't want to like go rifling around for it right now. And also it's definitely out of like the statute of where like Bricklink would hold on to it for me. So that's fine. I will, when I find like 200 1x8 dark tan tiles randomly soon, I'll know pretty immediately. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's literally all of my farmland. So anyway, okay, so besides that, so we had 8 rows of those, and then I think it's, how many is, so 56 divided by 8 is what, 7? 7 rows of this, and then we have the hoses. So 4 1x4 brown plates reduced to 2 studs. So that's this piece. So let's swap so we can see what I'm working on in detail. So here's our sample. So we have this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Didn't forget to order these. And 8 1x1 black cylinders. So that's these. And again, we're just showing sort of what the demo looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is all designed so that it can kind of tessellate. 8. So I guess I went up too high. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. And then 8 Blay hoses. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Was I supposed to get 8 hoses, or was I supposed to get... I think it must have been like this. And the idea here is that basically this is our sprinkler system. Look at that. And that actually, I like this because it kind of immediately connotes like working on farmland, so that's cool. 1x4 brown plates reduced, blade hoses for sprinklers. So we have the reddish brown. So then 56. So now we just have rows. So it basically is going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're just going to keep going like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. So this is what we're going to basically do with all of our sets of farmland. And then the last thing that we would be doing is we would be putting different crops on each of them. So what I think I might set as the goal is to set up actually, I have to think for a second here. So what I think I want to do is, if I need this little mowing device, so this is a fertilizing device, or is this a mower? Oh, is it what is this? Is this a weed whacker? Okay, Lego 7637. What is this thing? Because this actually makes a difference whether it's a lawnmower type of thing or a... You guys think I'm absolutely crazy. Let's see. Not this. Not this. I think it's like a... Let's look at reviews. It is a mowing tractor. It is a mowing tractor. Riding lawnmower. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, it's not some kind of fertilizer, which means if it's a lawnmower, it's gonna go like out here. It's gonna mow the lawn, you know. Oh, look at that! It can just sort of get around the pond. That's cute. Which unfortunately, what that means is it takes away my excuse to use this back spot back here as not as crops. So, oh well. So I think what we're gonna do. So the three most likely candidates for what I should use, how I should use different things, and I can say all this while I'm building my farmland here. Can I? Yeah. So I need this one. So that actually answered my last question. So we started setting this up, and we learned. Let's go back up to E. So what I was originally going to have section E be, and that's the section with that little scarecrow back there, was I was originally going to have section E be a row of unfinished crops. So now my choice is I either still have it be a row of unfinished crops, or I make it a little extra extension behind the... I don't think we need more farmland back there, especially since... Oh, I just had an idea. Oh, I just had an interesting idea. If I lower this by one stud, I can actually... Oh, that's good. Okay. One thing at a time. Okay, but that idea isn't related to the other idea I had, so it's fine. And now look at this. Like, already, even without any crops on it, this little section I'm here, this looks like farmland. This looks like farmland. Even though I forgot or can't find the 1x8 dark tan tiles, even though I haven't planted the crops, this is literally what farmland looks like. So I'm just going to do this 6 times, and I'm going to leave one of them barren for the idea that, like, your hopper can, like, come through and collect your crops. And then back here is going to be a partial one. So we're going to set this aside for now. I'm going to pull up this. And I pulled it up without catching any of the studs. Yep. Okay, so this is going to be a mini one. I said this was going to be a full one, but it's actually going to be a mini one. So here's 1, 2. My next question is if I have enough of these, because it kind of doesn't look like I do, but that's okay. 1, 2. 3, 4. Hoses. 1. 2. 3. And, you know, you slowly reduce your part count as you start going through projects like this. 4. And then we're basically going to do these partial rows because what I'm going to... Yes, I know I'm sitting like a gremlin. So I think I'm going to have this be... the green Minecraft stalks. It's these, actually. So I actually think I can finish this section and put away the farm. At long last, the fabled day has come. the day when the farm is put away. Because what I was originally going to have was this section back here. Here, let's also do this. We'll put him like there. Yeah. Okay, what I was originally going to do was I was going to have crop 1, crop 2, crop 3, crop 4, crop 5, crop 6. And I was going to have one barren section, and the barren section was going to be right here. But what I think makes a little bit more sense to me now at this point is for this to actually be the green Minecraft stalks that are like not yet ready to harvest. Yeah, so we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna finish it up right now. So there's 1, 2. Yeah, this is so exciting because again, it means the farm is gonna be ready to put away. And then we'll have not quite used, so instead of 64 stalks, we're actually gonna use 31 because the scarecrow's also here. 1, 2, 3. Gotta line these up. Like, what's even the point of doing it if you don't do it with precision? And I also like how these are in proximity to the carrots and the pumpkins that are in the greenhouse from the farm set, from the modern farm set. Except it's actually not 64, it'd be 56, wouldn't it? So it's 56 divided by 2 minus 1. Math makes sense in my head, even if it doesn't make sense over the camera. Some of the crops are a little bit harder to build. Yeah, some of the crops are definitely a little bit harder to build than these. Like the cotton is many pieces, but that's okay. We'll get there. The point today was just to get through the farmland, and any crops that we got to hit were a bonus. So we're getting a fair amount of bonus here. See this? Look at this. Look at this. You cannot say this doesn't look like some farmland. It's all about just this little rows of 1x2 brown tiles with jumpers. And that's another reason I was so picky about the color of the farm road, which we're going to order, because I didn't want to just use reddish brown here, because this is so obviously the color of just dirt, tilled or untilled soil. Boom. Voila. La ferme est finie. This is it. Swap. So that is the farm. Plus a few removable sections. So before I go any further with finishing up the rest of the crops, or getting a head start on finishing the rest of the crops at least, because I don't know how far we're going to get there. Let's make a note here. So section E, instead of 56, it was 28 minus 1, which is 27. This is 8. This is 4. This is 2. This was 4. And then green stalks was actually only 28. So we're going to show that these green stalks were up here in section E. And it was 28 total. And the last two we're going to have in a produce bin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. And the reason we have that number is because... Where is it? Cool. Because every farmer grows a little extra produce. You know what? I really should have made this a patch of the Fortnite raspberries, since the raspberry piece is so expensive, but alas. And look at this. This is like the harvester has just come out. Oh, it just looks good, guys. We did it. It just looks good. We put all this grass down. We made the farmland. It all looks good. And actually now even this section's removable, so I actually have 7 removable sections, although I probably wouldn't want to remove that one. Okay, so we made that note. So now over here I said I had a brilliant idea. You ready for this? Okay. I don't remember why I put the brown here, but that's okay. We're actually going to put grass here too. So let's do a swap one more time. And then that's going to perfectly take us to 5 Eastern, so we can set aside the farm. I get my workspace back, and I can work on crops for a half hour or such. So I'm going to go... Let's pull out the poop again. So we're going to go down to here, where we connected this before. We're going to take these off, because we're not going to be using those anymore. And we're actually going to lower this entire frame by 1 stud, and what that's going to let us do is actually put grass on here and let it come through. So we need to take this brown section here, all these brown pieces that I included, and let's note that we're going to be down by, well, hold on. First, let's put these back on. So here's 1 more going back on, 2 more going back on. And then we'll use this piece that came from the scarecrow. We'll just plop that in there. And then we're going to say that our total number of black bases used is down by 2. Black bases used, 12. Okay. And the funny thing about this is I think this is going to make the numbers on the grass a little bit closer to working out too. I think our black bases are down here. Yep. This is why it's important to have organized part storage, which I have vaguely organized part storage. I wouldn't go so far as to call it fully organized, but I try. So now I need to make sure this can hit its connection points, which are 2, 4, 6, 8 studs. So there's 2, 4, 6, and I have a bunch of extra. I have 2 extra studs and 2 extra dots, but that's fine. That can just be some mud down the road. So now, look at this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then over here, I'm going to actually tile this all up a little bit. So 1, 1. Kind of like, again, a natural sloping hill, which it's just always so nice to do that kind of thing. Let's do this. No piece is wasted. Let's do this. And then we'll set this aside for a moment, and we will tile this barn. Mr. Gorbachev, tile down that barn. Although I do need to pull back out the grass pieces that we said we were done with. But the truth is, you're actually never done with grass. Grass is eternal. Grass is forever. Remember, grass. Oh my gosh, this could take a year. That's fine. Whenever you think you're done with grass, you're not done with grass. Okay, we're going to finish this before 5 o'clock. It's going to be great. Hopefully, like, the second I get off stream, I'm gonna, like, immediately find all of these 200 1x8 tan, dark tan tiles. They're around here somewhere. I guess I could have used brown too, since the brown jumpers look so good here. But I think I remember, so I do think, so this, a little bit of the concept for this farmland I did borrow from some video, and like, I recall that it does look really good when you get it right. The reddish brown next to the dark tan looks really good. Look at this. I love the texture. I love how there's like levels and layers. I don't tend to depress the minifigures and animals below the level of the grass, and that is just because, you know, like, people like to play with minifigures and animals more so than they want to, like, pick up a building or pick up a haystack. This is beautiful. This is really some stellar work. Yeah. So technically, this farm is kind of modular. Like, you can pick it up and kind of move it around a little bit. And I guess the next question I want to think through is, for the sake of stability, do I want to try to use bases and elevate the dirt road? But I think I don't. I think the dirt road is below the level of... Just like the city roads at 2/3 of a brick are below the city sidewalks at 1 brick high, I think that these dirt roads at 1/3 of a brick are going to be below. Well, actually, this is 1 brick high, so even being 2, they'd be a level below. I think I need to elevate them. That's a good note. Well, unless... Yeah, because if I just have... Again, let's do it like this, now that we can actually see it. If I just have it like this, that looks foolish. But even if I have it like this, what did we say? It was like 8 studs. Something like this. That's going to look like the road is in a valley. It's actually not as bad as I don't hate that. It's going to be a lot less expensive then. Well, I'll have to think this through, but there's no point thinking about this until I'm actually ready to make the purchase of the 8x8 dark orange road pieces. One more. We are once again done with grass, and it is 5 o'clock. The farm is ostensibly, at long last, complete. Now time to make the crops. Okay, so why did I just do all of that? Let me show. Preferably without knocking all this down. Move the cow, move the boy. Because now when I connect this by its connection points, I can actually have the door swivel open and shut, which I was having trouble with before. I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but it's okay. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Swap. Yeah, look at this. This is great. Well, that's all in a day's work. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab the bin that this farm ostensibly lives in, and I'm going to put away the farm except for the crops. And then we're just going to set all the crops up to that basic point. Hopefully that takes us less than 20 minutes. And then we'll be able to start next stream with just literally building the actual crops themselves, like the farmland. And I think we're going to be in fantastic shape. And I have my workspace back. Huzzah. Okay, and we're back with the workspace is miraculously clean for the first time in a long time. So all we have left is all the crops. So one of these is going to stay barren, and we already determined that like it wasn't going to be very realistic to actually build the crops because some of them are very technical. Like this one is easy because it's just orange stalks, but everything else is a little bit more technical. So instead, we're just going to focus on literally just placing these pieces right here so that I can put the rest of them back in a baggie and put them away. Which like, and then if we have a second extra, we can put down the sprinklers. And if we have a second extra, we can put down the orange stalks, and so be it. So like, if you thought that things were therapeutically slow up till now, it's only getting better from here. So let's just put this right in front of me and just kind of bang it out, you know? It's been a nice stream. This has been nice to finally start to go through my backlog of Lego and Bricklink orders and actually work on a custom build on stream. It's been pretty cool. And there's a lot more custom builds even just in this first Bricklink order, actually. So just a preview of some things that we have coming up. I think I mentioned this before, but we have an Imperial hangar. We have an Imperial ship factory. And we have a lake. Not going to say more about the lake quite yet. But those are things that I know for sure are in this first order here that we will eventually get to. As we start to thin out this set of parts to the left here. So I think that that's kind of the direction we're headed, is using the streams more for like, I think they're more valuable for, especially for rewatching. The streams are a little bit more valuable and interesting if we're doing custom builds. And then like, obviously on my Instagram, I'm going to continue to post, sort of like my thoughts on sets. And that's going to be more of like things that I've built recently, little sets built by the instructions, so to speak. But we can really, for all this stuff where I have to actually be technical and actually think about it, it's been nice to be on stream today. And this was kind of the goal that we were moving towards, for sure. And then maybe I'll find another platform, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, where I can potentially do when I'm just building, like, plain old sets, like the pagoda here that I've been saying was one of the next things we were going to build on stream. And I'll have to give that some thought, to be sure. But we'll figure it out. I'm confident that together we can figure it out. Man, that was a really nice adjustment. And it's really nice because, you know, when I'm building a set by the instructions, it can be kind of annoying. Like, if I'm, like, talking to you guys, it's one thing. It's easy to, like, yap about stuff. But there's not really, like, much to say about, like, I don't know, like a set review. Like, you don't need to do like a set review one piece at a time. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't need to be, like, it's nice to do a set review for like 30 seconds or 3 minutes or even like a little 9-minute video if there's something really detailed to go through. But like, there's not that much point like having a whole video of the build of a set, even if it's a bunch of different interesting sets, like all the streams up till now have mostly been. It's fine. But it's not really very rewatchable or interesting. Whereas this, I feel like the choices that I was making as I was laying out and designing the farm today, it's like an actually interesting and rewatchable video, you know? So yeah. But the goal is, especially if I use, like, that's something I can, regular sets is something I can sit down and I can do, like, on, like, a Wednesday night, I think is a particularly good time for it. Once I have the Lego room back in order again in a couple of weeks here. But this technical work, like, this is work. Like, what we did on stream today, this is thinking work. And it's, like, really challenging to do, like, work. In like the middle of the busy week. So I can start using my Sundays for a little bit more of this decisional, highly technical, where I've got my notes and my keyboard and mouse, and it's all kind of interesting. So yeah, look at this, just laying out all this farmland. If you look in the bottom right at the sort of finished stuff there, it's just so interesting. And this will make for an interesting little stream. I might make an exception to come finish up the farm stream part 3. Could be interesting. I might do that like maybe tonight or tomorrow night or something. Just kind of depends on how all the timing goes. Just the next time I get a big block of unbroken time, it won't be Wednesday, because Wednesday I'll be moving all of my Star Wars Imperial ships to the Lego room from the closet, which is going to be time consuming and technical, and I still need to build some furniture for the Lego room. So not Wednesday. And then I think the following Wednesday, similarly, I'm going to be moving a bunch of buildings, hopefully, if I can get the tables set up in time. Yeah, maybe I will come back and do the last little bit of this tonight. Hard to say. Either way, it's been great. It's been nice working on this all. One more. Seriously, where are those tiles? I don't know. there we go. That's all 6 of them. So, I can put the rest of these away now, and when I come back tonight or tomorrow, or whenever I next get to, we'll just have a pretty short stream, hour and a half, and we'll just finish up the rest of the crops. Like I said, wheat, cotton, sugarcane, all the good stuff. Yeah, it's been nice. It's been nice working on an actual project with you guys, so thanks, everybody, and we'll see you a little bit later to kind of close out this farmland project.